Hey guys, Rob here from Alien Guitar Secrets. I hope you're doing wonderfully well. Um, Today I want to talk about how to make melodies um, inside of chords. Um, Really, most players when they first get going, and I tend to teach it this way as well. I'd like to give a person the freedom to explore um, both really good sounding notes and not so really good sounding notes. And what you do in the meantime is you try and guide them into better sounding notes and the reasons which it might sound better or richer. And this really comes down to a question of harmony. So when you're playing, we've all heard the term playing the changes. Playing the changes is a wonderful way to begin exploring melody. Although I think one of the things that can happen is that you solely play the changes, the chord changes, and thus miss out on some of the richer melody that can be acquired playing through the changes in a modal kind of way rather than playing the changes of the chord per se, of each chord at that. But playing through each of the chords and trying to make a melody based purely and simply on harmonics within those chords, like direct chordal tones, is a wonderful way to begin attuning your ear to getting some more creativity, but more in keeping with what the song is doing. And this would be akin to that saying of serving the song. Why is it serving the song? Purely and simply because you are honoring the chord structures, the notes that constitute the actual chords themselves, but also the movement of the chords, and you're also doing it in time. So today we're going to go through just a simple chord progression. I've used A minor, G, and 2 bars of F. Yeah. So classic hard rocking ballad kind of chord progression, but it's really easy to kind of understand and break down in a very simplistic manner how one would play over those chords and acquire those harmonic intervals. So all I've done is just done that, and I've put that on a loop. Okay, so the idea is that as each chord goes past, I am systematically going through each of the chord tones. So the root, the third, and the fifth. I'm not playing with seventh chords or anything at this stage. Although I can expand my melodies to take in those other intervals, but I think it's really quite important to be able to hold yourself back and do it in in a more systematic way as just playing the chord tones at first. So as we play, if we think about A minor as the chord, the first chord, the notes that constitute A minor are the root, which is A, the minor third, which is C, and the perfect fifth, which is E. The second chord being the G major, the root is the G, the major third is the B, and the perfect fifth is the D. So our last chord, our F major, root is F, A is the major third, and C is the perfect fifth. So what we're going to do is, as each chord goes past, for the first round, I'm just going to go and hit the roots. So I'm going to hit A for A, G for G, and F for F, and see how that sounds. So I'm just going to turn my looper on, and I'll talk to you as we go through it. So here's the chord progression. So you got your A minor, you got your G major, and then you got your F major for 2 bars. So all I would do is hit the A for the A, G for the G, F for the F. Now you saw that I nice slit into that. That's kind of like, you can use, we'll talk about that in a minute. But after you do that for a couple of rounds, something in my eye. After you do that for a couple of rounds, what you would do is then go up to the thirds of each of the chords. So in the A minor's case, it's the C, the G major is the B, and in the F major it's the A. So it gets its own little unique harmonic melody, yeah, and that would sound like this, yeah. Now we don't have to go in line like that. As long as I know what the thirds are, in this case C, B and A, I can actually pick those intervals elsewhere on the fretboard if I've got my fretboard knowledge, and that would make it sound rather interesting, yeah? So I could play the C here on the A, so I play C here, I could play B up here, and I could play A here. Now I'm doing it systematically at first, but I don't have to later on. I can expand upon that and land on some of the more obscure notes within the key. So for instance, the 2, the 4, the 6, or even the 7 to begin with, right? So you can do such things as, I'll go through the fifths as well. So for the A, it's the E, for the G, it's the D, and for the F, it's the C, okay? So, you can do that, okay? So we've done our 1, 3, and 5. Now, to get a bit more interest in it, if I hit the 2, of the A chord, I'm going to stop for a second. I know that I'm drawing all of my information from the A natural minor scale, which is the Aeolian note, so A, B, C, D, E, F, and G natural notes. Over the A minor chord, for instance, right? If I went and I decided I'm going to go the second of the key, or the second of the chord, back to the root. In this case, it would be B going to A over the A minor, and then it'd be A going to G over the G major, and then it'd be G going to F over the F major. You'll hear that the second note of each of the chords, the seconds of each of the chords, feel tense and that they need release. So over the A minor chord, I'd have a B over an A, so it'd be, and then over the G to be A over the G, and then the G to F. And you'll hear that the second, as it were, the B over the A chord doesn't feel like it wants to stay there. It can go back to the root, but it can easily go to the third as well. So it can go B to C, and then it'll feel like it resolves. The same with the G chord. We can go G to A. Sorry, we can go A to B, which is 2 to 3. And then with the F, we're going G to A. Yeah, now I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, so we're going to go 2 to 1 first, and then 2 to 3, and then we'll go 2 to 5. Okay, so over the A minor chord, 2 to 1, it'd be B to A. So we got okay, B to A to G, and then G to F. That's 2 to 1. Okay, then we're going to go B to C, then A to B, and then G to A, which is 2 to 3. And the first of each of those grouping of 2 notes feels like it wants to move. Now I can do the same thing to the fifths. So if we go 2, we're going to go 2 to... So 2 to 5 of each of the chords. If I wanted to, I could go... Now I'll put the root on the top of it, yeah? So I've gone 2, 5, 1 of each of the chords. Yeah? Okay, so this is where our melodies become a little more interesting, because we've got far more scope than just going. Now, as you move through the chords, you can do it in a number of different ways. So there's tension, and over to the G for the resolve. And as long as we resolve, we're playing through the changes now, it gets easier and easier and easier to come up with a far more defined melody. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Remember to keep it simple, start out systematically, and then start building upon that. The ultimate goal would be, you could do it through arpeggios, where you could actually play all the arpeggios, but there are countless videos on that on the net. This is just another way of getting to know your fretboard better, but not only that, really starting to dig into those melodies that you hear coming from within that you want to bring out. This is Rob from Alien Guitar Secrets. Have a wonderful day. See ya.